My most precious honey.
My beautiful baby.
Oh.
Sometimes you tell me these things or you greet me and I'm tongue-tied. I wonder, okay, what should I say? This woman is so beautiful. I feel like just looking at you while the video is running.
I know.
And then I post it, just looking at you without saying anything.
I know it's for real. I feel the same, honey.
I love you.
Love you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Can Christians participate in protests?
Can Christians participate in protests? Yes, 1,000 times yes. It is your constitutional duty and spiritual duty to protest. Yeah, it's like a crusade. What's a crusade? A crusade is not just a preacher standing in front of people telling them, get saved, Jesus is coming soon. A crusade is a bunch of people that are propagating some form of news, sometimes for or against an establishment. Remember Jesus and his disciples and the crusades he used to have. And you'd say, woe unto you, Pharisees. Those were the politicians of the day.
Yeah.
Woe unto you, lawyers. Woe unto you, scribes. The three groups of people that led those days. The deep state of those days were Pharisees, lawyers, and scribes. Yeah. And he would tell them off. Woe unto you, lawyers, because you have the key of knowledge. And those that want to enter, you stand at the door and you block them from entering. And you yourself won't enter. Yeah. Woe unto you, Pharisees, because you tithe, mint, and all these nice things. Yeah. And you strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. You see, the Pharisees used to be so focused on ceremonial holiness that so that they didn't want to swallow little insects. So they drank by straining water through their teeth like this. So it's straining a gnat. A gnat is a little insect. Yeah. But Jesus said, the unclean creature that you didn't want to drink, to avoid being unclean for 7 days, you strain out the tiny one. But the unclean one called a camel, you swallow whole. You see, that kind of allegorical speech. Yeah. So Christians have the duty to protest, some through words and some by going to the streets. The only thing you mustn't do is insult people. Do not let corrupt communication come out of your mouth, but only that which is profitable for edification. So don't disrespect or dishonor your president or any leader while you are protesting. Yeah. You can still make your point known without being a rascal, without being an idiot, without being disrespectful, without being dishonorable. Yeah. Social disobedience is okay because you disobey the things that are not beneficial to the society. But you must not disobey the law because the law makes for peaceful protest, caucusing, picketing, and things like that. Yeah. The law does not make for wanton character assassination, misrepresentation of personality, likening somebody to a thing that is unpalatable. Yeah. The law doesn't make for that. And any person who acts that way can be charged in court. So Christians are free to protest against a government. They're even free to protest against religious leaders, even their own pastors, apostles, prophets, and teachers. Yeah. All that Christians are allowed to complain against in peaceful demonstrations and in peaceful protests. Yeah, it's a biblical right. It's also a constitutional right. Now, in light of what Gen Zs are doing in our country, I think they need to be supported and also guided, not chided, Yeah. We shouldn't rebuke them. We should support them and guide them and teach them how to take over the society because after all that we do and all that our fathers did is for this generation. Yeah. There's one thing people find difficult to do, that is handing over power to the next generation. Handing over wealth to the next generation, preparing them so that they can take over from us. It's like a relay. I have the baton and I have to hand it over to someone else, who hands it over to someone else, who then wins. Yeah. Jesus did his bit and handed it over to the disciples, who were very young by then. They were the Gen Zs of their days. Yeah. These guys were 17, 18, 19, 20. People like Peter were very, very young. But Jesus trusted them enough with the key of the kingdom, the keys of the kingdom. He gave them the entire kingdom, a bunch of young people.
Yeah.
And we need to learn as this generation, especially people our age, people in their 40s, upwards, we need to learn that it's okay to let young people lead. We'll still be in the board or the advisory board, teaching them and showing them the right way to do things.
Yeah.
But we must not muzzle them or stop them from leadership. I'm telling you, a day is coming in our country when politics will be, it's actually started, but it's going to be the principle, the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah.
People will be doing politics on social media only.
Yeah.
They will be meeting based on social media, based on artificial intelligence. Some will be doing Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
Well, Zoom will be overtaken by events by then. Something else is going to come up. Yeah. But it will be AI, etc. in politics.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People doing holographs. So a leader can appear in a hall, but as a hologram, talking to the people and not even answering the answering their questions. So technological advancement is taking over politics. So those who think that is a tribal thing, I'm a tribal kingpin, I represent this region, shock on you. Because we have a group of people who don't speak your mother tongue, don't want to speak it. Yeah. They speak technological language. Yeah. Like our son, he calls me bro. You couldn't do that during our time. They would have pulled your ears until your ears would look like that of a rabbit. You know, because freedom to them was a sign of disrespect. Yeah. But freedom to the generation, this is a Gen Z, my son's generation. And then there's the alpha ones coming, Misgab. These guys are not going to subscribe to idiocy, nonsense, rubbish just because you're their parent, just because you're a preacher, just because you're a prophet. No, they'll demand for answers. Yeah. So it's okay for Christians to protest, and it's okay for a generation that wants to move us to something new to lead those protests as it's happening in Kenya now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You're enlightening the Christian, the body of Christ.
So those who are praying against protest, what you should pray against is wanton destruction of property. Gen Zs are not destroying anything. They're the ones being destroyed by older folk and the police. Yeah? They are just lovely people. And they're very creative. If you find a bunch of creative people full of life and fire, zeal, enthusiasm, and fervor, train them. You see, you guys in the political offices, just call these young people, throw a bash for them because they love bashes, they love fun. You guys have been miserable all your lives. These young people love fun, so give them something fun, and then talk to them. First, let them talk, and take them seriously, whichever language they use. Since they don't speak tribal stuff, they use a mixture of languages, modern languages. Listen to them, and then present to them answers in a language they understand. Do you realize that the majority of our followers on social media are Gen Zs? That's so true. Reverberate with them. They like honesty. Yeah, they don't like hypocrisy. So if you preach it honestly and you stand your ground honestly, they believe you. Yeah, they do. Yeah. That's how it should be.
Thank you so much, my wonderful honey.
You're most welcome, baby.
I love you so much.
I love you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.